For this first example, I'm going to very carefully change all of the subtraction to adding the opposite. If you need to do so as you work through your homework, be sure that you change all the subtraction to adding the opposite. For future examples, I am simply going to know that a subtraction sign or a negative sign in front of the number means plus the opposite. So when I see something like subtract 5, I'm going to automatically know that we're adding negative 5. If it bothers you that I leave out the step, you be sure to go back and put it in. Now in this example, I'm going to put in all of the steps. So the first thing we want to do is to change the subtraction to adding the opposite. So I'm going to rewrite it as 2x squared plus a negative 4xy plus 3y squared plus 1x squared. Now remember, there's no numerical coefficient. It's understood to be 1. 1x squared. To subtract, we add the opposite. So it would be a plus a negative 2xy plus a negative 1y squared. Again, we have the subtraction, which means plus the negative. Also, the understood numerical coefficient is 1. Now we simply combine like terms. 2x squared and 1x squared are alike. A negative 4xy and a negative 2xy are alike. 3y squared and a negative 1y squared are alike. So I combine my like terms. The associative and the commutative properties tell me that I can regroup and reorder any way I want to. I want to regroup and reorder based on like terms. So that's what I did. Now we simply add the numerical coefficients. 2x squared plus 1x squared would be 3x squared, because 2 plus 1 is 3. A negative 4xy plus a negative 2xy will be a negative 6xy, since a negative 4 plus a negative 2 is negative 6. 3y squared plus a negative 1y squared is going to be 2y squared, since 3 plus a negative 1 is 2. Or I can write my answer as 3x squared subtract 6xy plus 2y squared. Again, if you have the negative in front of the term, it's automatically understood to be plus the opposite. Now in this problem, I am not going to put in the step of changing the 3x subtract 1 into 3x plus a negative 1, or the 4x squared subtract 9 into 4x squared plus a negative 9. This is understood to be plus a negative 1. This is understood to be a plus a negative 9. So I'm not going to put the step in. I'm just going to collect like terms. 5x squared and 4x squared are alike, so I'm going to combine them. I have no x term other than the 3x, so I'm going to leave it by itself. Now I'm going to add the constant terms, the negative 1 plus the negative 9. Now this is understood to be a negative 1 plus a negative 9, but I'm going to write it this way. 5x squared plus 4x squared is 9x squared plus the 3x, and a negative 1 plus a negative 9 is negative 10. look at another example. Add 7x minus 4 to x squared minus 4x plus 9. So I can write it as x squared minus 4x plus 9 plus 7x minus 4. Add 7x minus 4 to x squared minus 4x plus 9. Now this is understood to be 1x squared. So now I'm ready to combine like terms. I have no other x squared terms, so I'm going to leave 1 x squared by itself, plus I'm going to combine my x terms. I have a negative 4x plus 7x. So I combine my x terms. Now I'm going to combine my constant terms. 9 plus a negative 4. So I combine my x squared terms, my x terms, and my constant terms. So I have x squared, a negative 4x plus 7x would be a positive 3x, since a negative 4 plus 7 is 3. And 9 plus a negative 4 is 5. To subtract polynomials, one adds the opposite of the polynomial being subtracted. So this is really nothing new. You're already used to doing it. But to subtract polynomials, one adds the opposite of the polynomial being subtracted. Let's look at an example to see exactly what the rule means. Let's look at 4x squared, subtract 5x, subtract 1, subtract x squared minus x plus 7. I simply write the first polynomial the same as it is. 4x squared minus 5x minus 1. To subtract, we add the opposite of the polynomial being subtracted. The polynomial being subtracted is x squared minus x plus 7. To take the opposite of the polynomial, I have to take the opposite of every term. Let me repeat that. To take the opposite of a polynomial, I have to take the opposite of every term. The opposite of x squared is going to be a negative x squared. The opposite of a negative x is going to be a positive x. The opposite of a positive 7 is going to be a negative 7. Now, of course, we have the understood numerical coefficient of 1. Now I'm ready to combine like terms. So I can put the 4x squared with the negative 1x squared. I can put the negative 5x with the 1x, and I can put the negative 1 with the negative 7. So I put the x squared terms together, the x terms together, and the constant terms together. 4x squared plus a negative 1x squared is 3x squared. A negative 5x plus 1x is a negative 4x. A negative 1 plus a negative 7 is negative 8.